you a cannibal.
All right.
You know what you have to do to be a cannibal?
But the reason they would
Eat
believe it is
humans,
because you
I
said it. I'm 100% a cannibal. You ever eaten any human flesh?
Not a question I'd ever thought I'd have to answer, by the way.
How many women were there from that point? 500?
Sure. This was a very intense, very sexually charged between two people. Different people have different sexual fantasies.
All right, just in case you're out of the loop here, Armie Hammer blew up his successful at the time Hollywood career because it came out that he had texted he was 100% a cannibal to some person he was chatting with.
Oh, and amongst other things, with receipts, abusive.
Yeah, and he was in this weirdo, tumultuous relationship with somebody, and he just got like immediately sent off to the woods, like canceled, and he has not recovered from that. And I think he's trying now. And I don't know if he didn't expect this or not, but the interview is like, "How many people have you eaten? You know,
have you ever tasted human flesh? Huh?"
He goes, "I'm not a cannibal." And Piers Morgan goes, "It says right here in your text message, you are 100% a cannibal." So
he's like, "Well, you know, there's a lot of sex and people have different fantasies. So you are dancing around the question, is your sexual fantasy to eat humans?"
Yeah, it's a
Answer
little
the
bit
question.
different. That one's a little different. He was like working at a hotel for a little while when he got bounced out of Hollywood.
Yeah, was it like Hawaii or something?
Yeah.
Now, Sean, for some reason you're on Piers Morgan and the teaser plays, and he asked you the same question. Would you be honest?
I would double down. I would be like, yes.
As a matter of fact, your PA set up some human appetizers in the green room.
I would want to rock his world so hard. I would just absolutely, he'd be dumbfounded because in no way, shape, or form would Piers Morgan ever be prepared for the person saying yes. Like he's prepared for the person to deny it and then to like run down the list of claims he has after that. But if you're just like, yes. In fact, you're right, Piers Morgan.
Next question.
What else you got for me today? It makes it way weirder. Let's see what else I said.
Don't think that's any different than when someone looks at a baby and goes, "Oh my God, look at those cute little fat legs. I just want to eat you up."
She quoted you as saying, grabbed a knife, held it to your throat, raped you more. Everything else seemed boring. You crying and screaming, me standing over you. I felt like you died.
Okay.
Wow.
Whoever put the teaser, can you lower down the bed so we could hear Piers?
Yeah, I can't hear what he's saying at all.
Oh, you don't want to hear what he was saying. He was just reading a text message that was way worse than 100% cannibal. Let's see if we can hear the rest.
Pretty devastating to read that. Are they true?
I don't remember saying those things.
They could be true.
Yeah, convenient.
None of those people were hurt or upset because I pushed any sexual boundaries.
Are you sure about that? Did you brand it?
This is so intense. Banned.
And
then
out
they
of
drop,
nowhere, when was the last time we talked about Armie Hammer?
I don't know.
Did
I
they
think
not
he might
schedule
be.
anybody else?
He might be trying to like rebuild. And Piers Morgan's like, "Okay, I got you. We'll come over here."
They're
I'll
still
ask you a
making him
couple
look
questions.
to be a bad guy as far as that trailer goes.
It didn't seem like he came off real great, but you let us know what you think. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com. Send us a dispatch right now. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com and Guitar Slinger emails. He says, starting Monday, they're closing the road around Mar-a-Lago. I'm imagining for security. So all the traffic in Palm Bay will be diverted to the two remaining bridges. It's going to be an absolute nightmare to get to work for people, I'm sure. Yeah. All of this is like because they're doubling and tripling down.
Also, isn't it Palm Beach?
He said Palm Bay, but that's what the email says. Yeah, it's the island of Palm Beach where Mar-a-Lago is, obviously. So I'm sure that's what he meant. But you got a couple of things going on. First of all, they were supposed to have already doubled down Secret Service protection. We see how well that worked when Trump was giving his speech in Pennsylvania because they discovered a plot from Iran to try to execute former President Trump. No idea if this kid was attached to Iran in any way. That would be another just mind-blowing, jaw-dropping moment if that came out at some point. But they are going to increase security everywhere now because of their failures and because of the threat. And so I'm not surprised. They're like shutting everything down everywhere, and security is going to be a lot more intense than it used to be. Here's a dispatch from Eskimo Brother talking about, this is Microsoft Wave.
What up, news junkies?
Hey.
Hey, man, happy Friday, man.
You too.
guys are freaking
Saturday,
great.
Sunday.
You got Sean, the other guy, C-Lane.
Yep, that's him.
The other chick,
Check.
Sabrina.
Thanks, dude.
It's been a crazy day today. I'm actually going to get lunch for the group, for the employees and stuff. Get some Popeyes up in this.
Nice.
And this Microsoft and all this crazy stuff about what's going on. I work for the fire department, man. It's just one of them days today. Everybody's running, with their heads cut off. But we're gonna make it through. We'll make it through this. We're gonna have some beers after.
So I guess his firefighter group is down as a result of this internet issue or something.
Oh, because they did say on the Today Show that it was affecting some 911 centers.
That's true. Yeah, they did say there was a whole long list of all these damn things that were affected by this.
Poor guy just having everything just read to him. Well, your software has broken this, and it broke that, and that's broken.
Hey, he's good. He's going to get some Popeyes right now. That sounds nice. All right, what do you think? Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. Real quick, streaming hit a high number, and I think it's only going to go up and up and up and up from here. All TV usage and viewing in the United States in the month of June.
Oy vey.
In the month of June, streaming accounted for 40.3%, which is a record high. 40.3%. Almost half of all viewing of television was done on streaming platforms. And
In
that
the
will
chosen
eventually,
month.
in the chosen month of June. Netflix, driven largely by Bridgerton, had the highest numbers of any of these streamers. And you had YouTube was 10% of all television viewing. Amazon Prime way back at 3.1%. Hulu at 3%. Disney Plus 2%. Peacock 1%. Max 1%. More on Max than Peacock, which is kind of surprising to me. But that's where everything is headed in that direction right now. Okay, here we go. A quick break. When we come back, we'll get to more of your dispatches, a big surprise at Costco, and a whole lot more as we roll on. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
This is Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk for the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast.
Rover's Morning Glory.
Peter thinks it would be easy to live on $25,000 a year. You just get a cheap apartment, you say?
I'm looking in Willoughby here. Okay. Under 900, not a single place.
Oopsie.
Okay, under 800. Rover's Morning Glory.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Real Radio 92.1 for the Palm Beaches and 101.7 for the Treasure Coast.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Coming back to Las Vegas. September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu.
A weekend full of superstar performances.
Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com. That's AXS.com.
The Hartford Small Business Insurance knows opening a small business is a great achievement. They offer custom insurance solutions to fit your needs. Get a quote and find why over 1 million small business owners trust them at thehartford.com/smallbusiness.
Here's the latest with weather on Real Radio.
I'm CBS 12 meteorologist Charlotte Carl. We have another hot and humid day ahead of us. With the morning showers that we saw, we are seeing humidity increase as that water evaporates. We also do have a chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon once we get to that normal 3 p.m., 4 p.m. mark.
This report is sponsored by Assurance Power Systems. Hurricane season is here, and Assurance Power Systems is ready to help. As an authorized Power Pro Premier Generac dealer, you'll work with the best to get prepared for your next power outage. Visit assurancepower.com to learn more.
The News Junkie is brought to you by Gordon and Partners. ForTheInjured.com. 561-333-3333.
Hey, it's the Greek for Tito's Handmade Vodka. Right now, it's beach time, it's pool time, and it's barbecue time. And on all three things, you need something that's very smooth. And then there's really smooth, and that's Tito's Handmade Vodka. No matter what event you're planning and what your activity is going to be, make sure you have Tito's Handmade Vodka in your lineup. Beach time, pool time, barbecue, always bring Tito's. So Tito's will make every good time a great time. Tito's Handmade Vodka. Peace.
This July 26th through 28th, get ready for an event that will inspire and empower Christians across America. The Believers Summit is coming to West Palm Beach, Florida. This summit is more than just a gathering. It's a mission to stand courageously for truth, embracing the Here I Am spirit of readiness and obedience to God's call. Join an inspiring lineup of speakers including Charlie Kirk, Jansen Franklin, Ali Stuckey, Eric Metaxas, Sage Steele, and many more. Register now for 25% off using code WPBLOCAL at tpusafaith.com/believers. Here's a surprising fact. More than half of men over 40 experience some degree of erectile dysfunction. Yes, it's more common than you may think. ED can be a sign of a more serious health condition, such as diabetes or heart disease. So if your partner is distant or having trouble in the bedroom, encourage him to speak to his doctor about it. Understand it's not your fault. Learn more about ED, its causes and treatment options by visiting edcure.org or call 561-944-8977. There, you can find a board-certified urologist in West Palm who specializes in treating erectile dysfunction beyond medication and access an ED assessment. If your partner has tried pills or injections and hasn't gotten results, it's time to learn about a permanent solution that's proven to be safe, reliable, effective, and satisfying. Visit edcure.org. That's edcure.org or call 561-944-8977. Sponsored by Boston Scientific.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day, but when we're driving, cooking, working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Call 844-ADD-HELP-5. That's 844-ADD-HELP-5.
A violent crime is committed every 24 seconds. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association exists to provide you with firearms education, training, and access to self-defense liability insurance. So when trouble comes, you'll be ready. Over 800,000 Americans trust the USCCA, and right now, there's an exclusive, limited-time offer for radio listeners. Go to defendfamily.com to get a free family defense guide, a survival secrets training video from a retired FBI agent, and see all the benefits of membership. Go to defendfamily.com now.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's traffic on Real Radio.
Good afternoon. Look out for a serious rollover accident eastbound on Martin Highway between Butler Avenue and St. Lucie Shores Drive, completely shutting down the roadway. Make sure to use Southwest Monterey Road as your alternate. I'm also seeing a crash off to the left shoulder northbound on the Turnpike after Atlantic Avenue. That's traffic. I'm Zach.
This report is sponsored by Verdict with Ted Cruz Podcast.
I'm Ben Ferguson.
And I'm Ted Cruz. This week, we're live in Milwaukee. We'll break down the Trump assassination attempt, the president's heroic response, the VP choice, and everything else at the convention.
Download Verdict with Ted Cruz now wherever you get your podcasts.
It's almost here. Team USA is headed to Paris, and iHeartRadio is the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics. It's the only way to listen to exclusive NBC play-by-play action of the games, plus NBC's top Olympic moments and live hourly updates from Paris. Bring the Summer Games with you everywhere you go. Download the free iHeart app now and enable push notifications for live updates from Paris. Only on iHeartRadio, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
This is Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk for the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast. They're best friends. Unless they're fighting. Are they fighting? It's the News Junkie.
Don't laugh, it's not funny. Don't joke, I'm not joking. The curtain is closed.
I want to hear from you. Send
Citizen Dispatch. What say you? Join us on the show today. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on yours right now. They said that in the final hours of poor Shannon Doherty, who died, she was 53 years old, way too young to die, struggled with cancer for a while. Sad to see her go. Interesting to see something happen there with a lot of her friends from 90210 were talking about her life, like either at the end or after she died. And people would be like, hang on a second. Didn't you guys hate each other? Like, weren't you guys like enemies? Didn't you hate each other? And I thought to myself as I was watching a lot of that, like tributes from somebody who would have had a contentious relationship with her. It's like, yeah, maybe they hated her, but or maybe they fought like back in the day. But I think you could still pay tribute to somebody that you knew that maybe you fought with.
Oh, absolutely.
After they died. I don't think it makes like everything you say worthless.
And when she's been battling cancer for quite a few years now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Things might have been put in perspective after that. Maybe some forgiveness or, some reconciliation happened in between.
Knows?
We don't know.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Yeah, when you're like I just saw this recently with my sister. When you're in hospice, all kinds of people, once they know what's going on, start ringing you up. So like people that my sister hadn't heard of in years wanted to have a conversation with her, like a last conversation. And I don't think that's super strange. I think it's a normal thing because all of this puts things in perspective. If you're fighting with somebody, that's one thing. But when you hear that person is really sick or not going to be with us for much longer, it can drastically change the dynamic of whatever your relationship is.
Sure. Now, that being said, I certainly have people that have been in my life that I could see right through it if they reach out of nowhere because I'm dying. Like,
are there really people that have been in your life that would reach out in that moment and you'd be like, I'm not talking to you?
I just like, okay, cool. Thanks.
Uh-huh.
But
by the way, that's a totally fine opinion to have as far as I'm concerned. Like if you say, no, you weren't here for me when I needed you, or you did this or you did that, and you can't come and make things better to make yourself feel better after I pass. Like this is selfish on your part. I think it's totally normal to think that way.
A eulogy that went viral, I think earlier this year, maybe late last year, where there's a granddaughter or daughter of someone who had passed. And during the eulogy, called everyone out like, I don't know where you were before and while she was dying, but she wouldn't want your ass here, and neither you and neither you.
Damn.
And this is exactly how she would have wanted me to give this eulogy. I mean, let's be honest here. You're just doing it to show face.
You know who else they did that for? I don't know if you've ever seen the funeral of Pat Tillman, who was the NFL player who went to Afghanistan and then was shot and killed in a friendly fire incident, I believe. And Pat Tillman's brother, I think he had a beer in his hand. I can't remember perfectly, but Pat Tillman's brother goes up after all these people were speaking. And he's like, every single one of you before me, you talk about God, you talk about religion, you talk about, there's a bigger plan and all of this. He's like, Pat Tillman, my brother, was not religious at all. He would have hated everything you guys just said. He was an atheist. And it's like, whoa.
Buddy, I've been to a funeral like that. It was so strange where I knew the person who passed.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the room was packed. And then the person who was doing the funeral made it like it was a damn church service.
Yeah,
and we all the friends in the back were like, he would have hated this.
Yeah,
what is happening here?
I think they just kind of default to that because that's what they do for most of them.
I want to be very clear. That's not what I want.
Yeah, that is a strange thing that we do. One thing I want to talk about, the reason why I brought this up, because obviously, you've probably heard of that she passed already, but they said just hours before Shannon Doherty died, her divorce was finalized.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw that.
They were running papers on her divorce up until the last moments. And like right before she died, they're like, all right, here you go. Here's the final documents for your divorce. And signed an agreement that allowed Doherty to keep the couple's Malibu, California home, a Salvador Dali painting, several cars, and all the earnings from her acting. A judge signed off on the agreement and declared the couple divorced. And then just hours later, Shannon Doherty died. And you're like, man, she really wanted to get that divorce done, huh? Holy cow.
Also, I'm to the understanding, I think it was a podcast she was on early June,
Yeah.
I don't think that she expected to die.
No.
She just started a new chemo plan.
She was fighting hard. She was doing all the things and trying to see if she could make it last as long as she could. But unfortunately, that is the way things go sometimes. We're going to get to you and your dispatches momentarily. Quickly, one of the moments that's making the rounds from Trump's RNC speech this week was when I guess he was talking about the chart that saved his life, because he was looking up at the immigration chart when he turned his head slightly and the sniper only caught his ear. First things first, they put it on every screen possible at the venue. All right? I'm not joking here. Take a look at this. They put it on every single screen.
How do they have so many screens?
There's like 500 screens. I'm exaggerating, but there's like 10 screens, more than that maybe, around the former president. And they put this chart up.
3, 4, 5,
there is a lot, right? They put the chart on all of these screens here.
I'm counting 15.
Last time I put up that chart, I never really got to look at it.
But someone was holding it as a poster?
Yeah.
But without that chart, I would not be here today.
Does this count as him never talking about it again?
Well, this is during the same speech where he said he was going to never talk about it again.
This wider shot has even more screens.
There's so many screens. All of these screens have this immigration
And I still
report
can't
thing.
read it.
Because it's like messing with your eyes because there's too much to look at, I think.
Last time I put up that chart, I never really got to look at it. But without that chart, I would not be here today.
You're going nuts for him.
To look at it.
There he is, and the chart that saved his life on display absolutely everywhere you could possibly imagine. We would love to hear from you today. What's on your mind? Steer us in another direction. Talk about what you got on your mind right now. And to do that, to join the show, it's super easy. All you have to do is go over to thenewsjunkie.com, and right on the website, you'll see where you can record a dispatch. You could send photos, you could send video of your comments. Anything you want is fine by me. So go do that right now and join us on the show today. Bring yourself over to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now. Quick break. Oh, I teased the Costco thing, so let me pay that off real quick. They're now selling at Costco. I'm going to check for this next time I go there. They're now selling Apocalypse
Sabrina's
food
candle,
buckets.
too. She wants that candle.
Yeah, gotta
Hey,
get
what the
candle.
hell? That was a private conversation. But seriously, 90
Not
ounces?
just the candle. Serena's like, next time you go to Costco, can you pick this up for me? It's like the most mega candle I've ever seen in my entire life.
I want it so bad. And
it looks like it's the size of like a...
it's a bathroom trash can.
Yeah. It's
And
just unbelievable.
Guess what? I'm also excited about once that's burned.
Mm-hmm.
All the things I could use the
container?
actual bucket for, yeah.
True, yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, these